War isn't always won by the biggest guns or the loudest explosions. Sometimes, the deadliest person on the battlefield is the one you never see. Hidden in the snow, the jungle, or the rubble of a ruined city, a single soldier can hold back an entire army with just one bullet at a time. And here's the chilling question: who was the sniper that took out the most targets in history? The answer is more complicated and far more terrifying than you might expect. Snipers are some of the most feared figures in war. They don't fight like regular soldiers. They're ghosts, moving silently, blending into landscapes, and waiting for hours, or even days, for the perfect moment to pull the trigger. Their impact has shaped battles and even entire wars, but their stories are often twisted by propaganda, secrecy, or myth. In this video, we'll pull back the curtain on history's most lethal snipers, explore how they managed to rack up staggering kill counts, and reveal why we may never truly know who holds the ultimate title of the deadliest sniper of all time. On paper, it sounds simple. Add up the numbers and find the sniper with the highest confirmed kills. But war is never that clear. Different armies counted kills differently. Some inflated numbers for propaganda. Others downplayed them to protect identities. Some of the deadliest sharpshooters never even appeared in the history books because they fought for losing sides, or their governments wanted their stories buried. And then, there's the ultimate challenge. A sniper's life is built on secrecy. The more successful they were, the less likely their details ever became public. So if we really want to understand who took out the most targets, we need to walk through history itself. Before the word sniper even existed, sharpshooters were already changing wars. During the American Revolution in the late 1700s, American frontiersmen armed with long rifles picked off British officers at shocking distances. Unlike traditional line fighting, these men fought from the trees, hunting high-value targets. To British troops, it felt dishonorable. To the Americans, it was survival, and incredibly effective. Then came the Napoleonic Wars in the early 1800s. British riflemen armed with the Baker rifle could hit targets over 200 yards away, which was jaw-dropping for the time. French officers began to dread the green-jacketed riflemen lurking on the edges of the battlefield. Suddenly, leadership was a dangerous job. This idea that one man with patience and a steady hand could change the outcome of a fight was here to stay. By the mid-19th century, rifles had improved, scopes were being developed, and the role of sharpshooters became official. In the American Civil War, both Union and Confederate forces trained specialist marksmen, some hid in trees, others in trenches, patiently waiting for generals or artillery crews to expose themselves. Newspapers at the time began describing their uncanny accuracy with a mix of awe and horror. The world was beginning to realize that long-range killers weren't just lucky. They were the future of warfare. The First World War turned the sniper from a sideshow into a central figure of battlefield life. Trench warfare created the perfect environment. Soldiers lived for months in ditches, separated by just a few hundred yards of open ground. Anyone who raised their head above the parapet risked death. German snipers became especially notorious, using scoped rifles, camouflage, and decoys. They made life in the trenches a living nightmare. Allied soldiers began to respond with counter-sniper units. Some even developed crude armor, steel plates with tiny viewing holes, to protect themselves. In this environment, duels played out silently. A sniper would take out an enemy machine gunner, only to be hunted down by another sniper minutes later. The kill counts were rarely recorded, but the impact was enormous. Entire offensives slowed down because of the fear of an invisible rifleman. If World War I created the sniper, World War II turned them into legends. The Eastern Front, where Nazi Germany fought the Soviet Union, became a breeding ground for some of the most famous names in sniper history. Soviet propaganda celebrated them like movie stars. Posters showed their faces, their rifles, and their confirmed kills, numbers that often climbed into the hundreds. Imagine Stalingrad in 1942. Buildings reduced to rubble, smoke filling the sky, entire armies trapped in a city that was slowly being destroyed brick by brick. In that chaos, snipers reigned supreme. A single soldier hiding in the shadows of a ruined factory could control an entire street. Some accounts claimed certain snipers racked up kills that seemed impossible, taking out dozens of soldiers in just one day. Whether every number was real or not, the effect was undeniable. German troops began to fear every window, every hole in a wall, every flicker of movement. On the Finnish front, against Soviet invaders, the snowy forest became a sniper's paradise. White camouflage made them nearly invisible. With temperatures freezing and visibility low, soldiers often never knew what hit them. It was in these frozen battles that some of the highest kill counts in history were claimed, with numbers that still spark debates today. In the Pacific Theater, American Marines and Japanese snipers fought brutal hide-and-seek games across dense jungles and volcanic islands. Here, it wasn't about racking up hundreds of kills, but about psychological dominance. A single hidden sniper could pin down entire units for hours. Every leaf, every branch, every shadow could hide death. Fast forward to the jungles of Vietnam in the 1960s and 70s, and snipers once again played a chilling role. The thick vegetation made it nearly impossible to spot them. American snipers moved like phantoms, crawling for days to get into position. Some of the most famous confirmed kills came out of this war, including incredible long-distance shots that showed how far rifles had advanced since World War II. For the Viet Cong, snipers were even more terrifying. They didn't have high-tech gear, but they used the jungle to their advantage. Blending into the environment, they could vanish after just one shot. Their purpose wasn't always to kill dozens of enemies. It was to create fear and force the enemy to slow down, second-guess, and waste time. In today's wars, from Afghanistan to Iraq, snipers continue to shape the battlefield. But now, the distances have reached almost unbelievable levels. Modern rifles and optics allow trained snipers to hit targets over 2 kilometers away. Some of the longest confirmed kills in history have happened in just the last 2 decades. Imagine pulling the trigger and waiting several seconds before the bullet even lands. That's how far these shots are. But interestingly, modern snipers aren't judged by how many kills they rack up. Instead, they're valued for precision missions, taking out high-value targets, protecting their units, or disrupting enemy leadership. Their reputations come less from body counts and more from the impossible distances they've managed to reach. Still, when kill counts are mentioned, some of these modern figures rival or surpass the legends of the past. So, who's the deadliest sniper of all time? Some names float to the top, with claimed kills in the hundreds, sometimes even higher. But here's the truth: we may never know for sure. Records were often exaggerated for morale or propaganda. Others were lost to history, never written down. Some of the deadliest snipers probably died in silence, their true numbers unknown. What we can say is this: the sniper's power wasn't just in the number of enemies they killed, it was in the fear they spread. One sniper, unseen, could hold back entire companies, stall offensives, and change battles. Their legend isn't just about numbers. It's about the psychological grip they held over the battlefield. And that's why, even today, the word sniper still sends a chill down the spine. Across centuries of war, the sniper has always been a paradox. They were often just one soldier, but their impact was enormous. From American frontiersmen picking off officers in the Revolution, to Soviet sharpshooters haunting the ruins of Stalingrad, to modern marksmen hitting targets from miles away, the story is the same. They fight silently, invisibly, and with terrifying efficiency. We may never be able to name one single deadliest sniper with absolute certainty. But what's clear is this. In the history of war, the most powerful weapon isn't always the biggest gun. Sometimes, it's the quiet patience of one soldier, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the perfect shot. Subscribe now for more hidden stories history doesn't want you to forget.